Thank you. Cut it off. You cut it off? Okay.
Morning, guys.
Thank you, Jim, for recording it.
Oh, you're welcome. I didn't know I did.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hope everyone had an awesome new year, great Christmas. We're going to jump right into it here in just a moment. I will give people just a few moments to work out any technical difficulties, get the speakers going, whatever you need to do. So let's do this. It's 11 o'clock. Let's give 2 or 3 minutes for people to log in and get their technical difficulties worked out, and we will get rolling. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to dive into some KVCore stuff pretty quick. If you've played with it quite a bit, this may be very, very basic for you, and you may already have a lot of this stuff done, but we've got to start at the beginning, because I know that a lot of people after that original introduction from Inside Real Estate, it wasn't very hands-on. It was almost like a preview to a movie where you didn't really know how to do anything, didn't catch a lot of skills. They just kind of blasted all this stuff at us, and it was kind of hard to figure out where it applies. So we're going to slow it down and we're going to simplify this. And what we want to do is we want to take it down to about 5 things that we can use in our business. So the goal of KVCore, we have to really look at what do we want to get out of it, and that's going to dictate how we're going to use it. So as I thought about that, we're really only going to want to do about 3 things. We want to run an efficient business, so just kind of make our lives easier, right? We want to grow a big business. That should be another goal out of it, is how do we get more clients from KVCore? And then the last thing would be some automation. And I think automation is it's very much understood in real estate because a lot of us have this idea that we just want it to all happen for us and we just want to go out and show the houses. But it's not really feasible. It's not really possible. There are some things we can automate, but we're not going to be able to automate our relationships. I don't have a relationship with one person that sends me to a computer to talk to all the time. And that won't work for us either. But what we can automate is some of the resources that we use. So a lot of us are creating things and doing a lot of extra work on our own. We can save ourselves some time through KVCore because that does handle some of that automation for us. And then the other thing we can do is we can automate, I call it our strangers, the people we don't know. So that's not going to hurt to load your database up with leads that we generate, like strangers, and put them on a drip campaign. Put them on an automated touch campaign because we're only going to get about 1% of those guys anyways. So if we don't know them, it doesn't really matter if we spam them. We are going to just cast a wide net with our automation for strangers. But if we start automating to our friends, it could be appear to be a little less genuine than it should, and they may start to shut us down a little bit. Everybody okay? Everybody agree with that? That was one thing a lot of people were scared about when we first got going, is they didn't want this system to just start randomly communicating with all their people. And that's a good thing because it really doesn't do that if you set it up the right way. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So really quick, I'm going to share a screen with you guys because we are doing some different things with training in 2021. So I want to kind of show you the flow of the KVCore training. Is everybody looking at my calendar? Is it big enough for you guys to see? Thumbs up, maybe?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Joy.
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at today, the 5th. We've got KVCore Basics today. And like I said, it's going to be super basic. So please don't get off here and go, geez, that was it. It's going to build up, guys. We want it to be basic anyways. And then jump over here to Thursday. So starting next Thursday, 3 weeks in a row, we're going to start to hammer in on those basics a little bit more. Next Thursday, we're going to set up our websites and we're going to look at how to set up search alerts for our clients. We'll even look at driving a little bit of traffic to our sites as well. So if this is something that you need some help with, you'll definitely want to make next Thursday. If you already feel good about that, that's why we have this calendar. So you don't have to sit in on things and feel like, gosh, why did I sign up for this? I already have this done. And then when you look at the 21st, I love this one. We're going to look at Listing Machine and Core Social. We did pay extra so that you guys could have access to that. And it really does some cool things. So it's going to be very much a hands-on training with that one as well, where if you attend that one, you're going to know exactly how to access your virtual tours, some print material for any and all of your listings, and then your social media for your business pages will be automated, which will be huge. We are actually going to walk through and we're going to be able to pick topics. We're going to be able to pick our schedule, make sure it's posting to Facebook. If you have Twitter or LinkedIn, it does all that good stuff too. So that'll be a good one for you guys. And then on the 28th, we're going to do all lead generation. So I'm going to show you guys with KVCore how to generate some leads from people we do know. And then we're going to focus a lot on generating leads from strangers as well, and making sure that as we generate those leads from strangers, they get plugged right into the system. And that's going to be a high rejection type of skill. So the cool thing is they're going to be rejecting KVCore, not us personally. We're not doing anything until somebody raises their hand and says, yeah, I'm interested, or I'd like to see that house. So that'll be a really, really good thing for you guys. And then it'll continue on a little bit. We'll throw some more KVCore stuff back in here as we go. Another class I would highly encourage you guys to attend. If you look on the 18th, we have this class called Foundation from 9 to 1. And we've got a lot of people on here, don't we? Man, we haven't had this many people in training in a while. I feel like I should be nervous.
That's because nobody knows how to use this shit.
Perfect. So Foundation will be an awesome training for you guys. It really will. And I want you to just take a moment with me and think about your businesses. if we're going to build a business, we have to have a database with people that we're touching on a regular basis, not just when we're like, get that attitude of, man, I got to get busy. Like, it should be going all the time, and we should just be plugging people into that as we go. So I want you to think about where you are right now. How many people do you have in a system where they're being touched, meaning an email, a text message, a phone call by you about 30 times a year, and it just happens because that's your structure, that's your schedule. I want you to think, is your number 25? Like, think, guys, they got to be getting touched about 30 times a year, regular basis, real estate related. Do you have 100? Do you have 200? Or do you have 0 people that are in a system like that? Anybody have 0? That should be it. I know that's a lot of us, guys. I love Latoya's always smiling. She can't hide it. Chris, okay. Thank you, Chris. Chris is an experienced agent with 0. I would be there myself. Anybody else? No? Oh, you guys, maybe you guys don't need to be here. You guys are good. Well, I know most of you guys do not have a system that you're just plugging people into. I know it. Otherwise, we would be selling a lot more houses. So if you attend Foundation, it is going to be so hands-out on. You are going to walk out of that with an actual system that you can just start plugging people into, and you're going to be touching and contacting them on a regular basis, and it's going to be easy. So in that Foundation course, Monday 9 to 1, it'll be the best class we've ever had. We'll do a business building intro. We'll do a quick KVCore setup, and I'll give you the guys the time for that, because if you already are set up, there's no reason for you to attend that. And then we're going to get into social media, how to automate some of that and get ourselves a perfect schedule so that we're constantly posting, not overwhelmingly, but enough to let people know we sell houses. We're also going to jump into quantum, and we are going to automate mailouts to the people in our database. And we will start small and we'll work our way up. We're going to start by marketing, hopefully to our top 100 once a quarter. And the idea is, as we get more money and more people, we continue to increase that over time. And then the last thing we'll do in that is we will finalize our foundation. We'll talk about some communication with our clients as well. So the people who walk out of that foundation class will be able to text everyone in their database within 10 seconds once a quarter, and it will be awesome and real estate related, which most of us aren't doing. We'll all walk out of that with a great social media calendar ready to post and build our business on there. Our clients will be receiving mail pieces at a minimum on a quarterly basis. And then you guys are going to have an actual written, very simple, easy to follow business plan. And from there, you're already going to have at least 100 people in that system. You're going to be able to keep plugging people into that, and it's going to be very simple. So that's the goal of Foundation, is to make a system so that we can scale our business so that we don't become overwhelmed. Guys, have any questions about training moving forward? Tuesday trainings are still the same. We're still going to hit a bunch of different topics. We've got, new construction and some showing time reports coming up as well. Wednesdays, it's all about new agents. So you guys can see on Wednesday, we've got listing contracts, purchase agreements, inspections, dot loop, and social. And if I go down to the next month, same thing on Wednesdays, listing contracts, purchase agreement, inspections, and dot loops. We want to make sure that our new agents, minimum once a week, can attend those trainings because it's important. So having said that, it's not that we won't answer your questions about purchase agreements on February 11th. We would just hope that you would be a little bit proactive. And if you don't understand purchase agreements, you attend one of those courses before you're getting ready to write your first purchase agreement. I think that's fair. All right. Any questions, guys, before we jump into it? Quiet bunch. All right. So this is, are you guys seeing my KVCore negative? Let's get it pulled up. Okay. So this is KVCore, and today it's going to be very, very basic, and I want to show you how to get your clients in with a hashtag. So the first thing we're going to do when we look on this left-hand side, we're going to go to lead engine here. And we're going to go over to bulk import. You're welcome to do this with me if you'd like. And the reason we're going to start with actually putting our clients in is because if we don't, really there's no reason to come to any of the other training on KVCore. Because if you don't have people in it, who cares if you know how to do everything in it? You got to have some people in it. I like the do-it-yourself. Very, very simple. So I'm going to click on Get Started Now. And you're going to want to download the file template. So if you click download a template file here, it's going to take you to Inside Real Estate's website, and we're going to download this USA format. And by the way, guys, the homework for the next KVCore class will be at least getting 100 people in here. 100 people is not enough to sustain a long-term business, but it's enough to get going. Okay, so I like to open this with Sheets. You can open it with Excel, whatever you want to do, but I'm going to open it with Google Sheets. Am I going too fast, guys, or are we all good? Okay, you guys see where it says view only right here? If you're in Sheets, it's not going to allow you to edit this. So what you need to do is go to File, make a copy. And if you want to do this on Excel, you're an Excel person, no problem. And you can name it whatever you want. I'll just call this 1.5 test sheet. Actually, you know what I'll do? Call it 1.5 agent database, and I can share it with some of you if we need to. Okay, so this all looks super confusing, right? Good thing is you guys don't have to read it. I already did. At the very bottom, you're going to notice 3 tabs. We want to click on the All Vertical tag. And I'm going to highlight some of these columns. Because if this is everything I had to enter, I would not even have started teaching this class. So I would have canceled this one right away. It's too much. So I'm going to highlight a few of these columns up top that we need to fill in. So obviously we need first name, last name. We're going to need an email address. I just go with cell phone number. I don't do the home phone, cell phone, all that. I just do cell phone 1. Contact status, I think you are going to want to put a contact status, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. This link right here on how to import your leads, I'm going to right click on the 8, and I'm just going to delete that row. We don't need that. I'm trying to go a little bit slow for those who are working along. Now, ideally, guys, in a perfect world, you would get their primary address, primary city, state, and zip. Where's the best place to get that?
From them.
That's a good place to get it. Yeah. I think it's a good excuse to reach out too. Hey, I'm updating my contacts for my real estate system, and I cannot find your address anywhere. Can you share? That's letting them know you're in real estate, and it's starting a small conversation with them. If you talk to 100 people about getting their address for your real estate system, someone's going to ask you a question about real estate. Guaranteed to happen. You don't need these. I would just highly recommend that you get those and start filling those out. All right, and I'm going to keep scrolling over. Now, we do need this opt-in email, opt-in call, opt-in SMS. And then I also would encourage you guys to do a hashtag. and I'm going to show you guys how to set this up easy for 100 people. The opt-in email, we want to say yes. We want call to be yes and SMS to be yes. So if I right click on that yes that I just created and hit copy, I can drag it all the way down, and I think I would want to go to row 101 if I'm going to do 100. I'll right click again and hit paste, and those are all done. And for those of you who are not good at following along and working at the same time, we can email you a copy of this with all of these yeses in here at the end of this. Hashtag. So for me, I would put top 100. Now that doesn't mean you can't put more than 100 people in here. This just lets you know that like these are the people I need to be reaching out to and talking to on a regular basis. So we'll do 100 of these. I'll copy that and I'll scroll all the way down and paste those in. And I know this is a little boring, guys, but it's so necessary. The things we're going to be able to do with this are going to be incredible. Okay, and the last thing is contact status. And I would put sphere for all of these guys. They'll be organized for you. It'll be very, very simple for you to understand that these are people you're going to build your business around. We'll go down to line 101. I'll copy all those. Piece of cake. You guys think you can handle the rest of it as far as filling out their information? I can't help with that. So we need 100 people is what you really want to fill in order to be ready for next Thursday's course. It's just going to be kind of pointless, guys, if we don't get some people in here. The people who go on this journey with me, you're going to have an amazing system set up. It's going to be very easy. You're going to know how to use it, and you're not going to have to spend 10 hours a day in it. We're talking 5 minutes a day tops in KVCore, and you should be able to run your business, grow a big business, and automate some things for some strangers and some resources. All right. So I'm going to fill in at least one name because I want to show you guys how to upload this really quick. Okay. And I'm not going to do the address just to save some time. All right. So as soon as you have everything in, I'll go to File, and I'm going to download that. And you want to download it to this CSV file. So now that's on my computer, CSV file. I'm going to go back into KVCore, and I'm going to show you how to find this one more time. We click on Lead Engine on the left. We click on Bulk Import. We'll go Get Started Now. And then I'm going to go find that CSV file. It's the one I just downloaded. There we go. I hit Open. Now you guys notice how it's got 100 leads in here, but I've only got one person. That's okay. So if you have some incorrect information, it may kick it out, or if you're missing information. I'm just going to go ahead to Confirm and Import. It's going to try and match the fields. This is easy. On this Match the Fields tab, we're just scrolling all the way down and we're hitting Confirm and Import. Now it's going to say we haven't matched a lot of their fields, and that's okay. We'll import anyways. We're not going to power up. We're just going to, again, click Confirm and Import. Now, add to a campaign. You can add these guys to a campaign, but I would probably not. Remember, these are people that we don't want to send a bunch of random messages to. We want to touch them ourselves so that we can get clients from our relationships. And that's done. I hit Finish. And I'm going to go to my Smart CRM now, which is just a tab on the left-hand side. And it may take a moment or two, but all of those contacts are in there. And I want to show you guys why we did this. We are going to want to text message or call our top 100, 200, however many there are that we're going to generate business from. We should be touching base with them once a quarter through a text or a phone call. We all know we should do that, right? Especially if you've been in business for a while. But how many people can say that they consistently, once a quarter, call everyone in their database? Does anybody do that?
No.
Oh, who said no?
Me, Jana.
Hey, Dan, I thought that was you. No, and we all know it's a good idea. It's just human nature. We kind of like, I'll make 5 calls and then I'm kind of done after that. But we will text them, right? If there was an easy way to text them within a second or two, we would absolutely do it, and we should. Now, if we text them, a mass text from this system, I'm going to show you how this works. I just put hashtag Tucker in here because I use this to recruit FC Tucker agents. So now what I can do is I can text about 50 people at a time. You see, 1 of 49. So I'm going to select all here, and I'm going to click on mass text. Now, in January, I should be texting them something along the lines of, hey, hope you had a great Christmas and a happy new year. Just touching base with friends, family, and clients to make sure they don't have any real estate needs in 2021. Let me know if you need anything. Latoya, would you be offended if you and I were friends and you got that text message?
No.
You say that with a hesitation or a pause.
Well, my only hesitation was because I may overthink things, but when I was sending my like Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, blah, 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 I was hoping that I didn't offend anyone with the Merry Christmas. So when you said it, then I was like, okay, well, I don't know. Trying to be sensitive to everyone, but not overanalyze it.
Yeah, and I guess that's I mean, sooner or later, we're not even gonna be allowed to tell each other to have a nice day, right?
Well, that's true.
You know, you'll have to make your own call in there, but I don't think that that's gonna offend anyone. I mean, it really is gonna take a certain person to offend somebody by saying Merry Christmas.
Merry
That's
Christmas.
a pretty universal thing.
Go with Happy Holidays instead.
Happy
There
holidays
you go.
works.
Okay, that's a good one.
And just go with what you're comfortable with. So let's go back to that message. I'm going to type it in this box, and I'm going to copy it in the chat box in case you guys want to use it. And I put family, friends, and clients because if it's a family member or a really close friend, I don't want to feel like they were just downgraded into a generic relationship of client. So I want to use all 3 words there, and they're going to determine which one they fall in, and I'm okay with that.
Hey, Jim,
Yes.
I'm not good with wording like this. Is there any way that maybe Bree or something once a month, like we had set up through Isaac, can just do some kind of a general email that gets sent out where all we have to do is send it and the wording is in there? Because I did get leads through Isaac and I never, exact how you pronounce it, and I never did anything but send out the monthly letters.
Yeah, and that is an initiative that we're going to work on this year so that Bree can put something together for you guys that you can just send out. The good thing about doing it through text message and email is the open rate on text message is like 99%. Everyone reads their text versus the open rate on an email is somewhere typically once they realize you're advertising to them, it drops below 10%.
Gotcha.
So
But even if it's like a monthly text message or even quarterly, I just don't have the word, my wording, it is not right.
well, we are actually going to do that. We're definitely doing it for the text messages. 100%. We'll have those once a quarter ready for you guys to just grab them, send it out, and go with it. But what you want to do, you want to say your name in here because this does come from your smart number. And I would put my name and sent from my business phone. And this is a negative for a lot of people, but it is what it is. It's like hitting the lottery and saying, yeah, but I got taxes. It's the same idea of, yeah, it's not perfect, but it still works, right? It gets the job done. The reason we want to put sent from my business number is so that they don't delete your actual number, right? Because if I get a message from someone and it says Chris Lett, and it's not a number I recognize, I'm probably going to go, oh, is this your new number? Or somebody may jump all over it. If you're like Shelly and you are super organized and knock your task out right away, you may just go ahead and delete that number. So I delete the old number. So I would definitely put in here sent from my business phone. It's not a bad thing to let them know that we are in business running a business either, is it? Does anybody have any, I'll accept any pushbacks on the smart number. We can talk about that for a moment. The quarterly text, anything that makes you uncomfortable, things you want to call into question. Now's that time where we talk it out.
So if it's saying sent from my business phone, will the response come directly to KVCore?
It will, yep. And you can get it on your mobile app. Guys, I've used it and it works great. We've got a handful of agents that have signed on because I started texting through KVCore and I respond to them. It's so simple. It comes right to your dashboard. So the beautiful thing about this, if I send this text out to 200 of my family, friends, and past clients, and they start replying, most of them aren't going to wait a week to reply, are they? They're probably going to reply to that text pretty quick, or maybe not at all, and that's okay. But if they reply quick, I'm going to be able to reply back to them on the dashboard. So if I go to this dashboard, and I'm actually going to click on text here. This is another good thing about KVCore. You guys see where this is private lead? These are your leads. We cannot see your people. So you guys can do whatever you want within KVCore. We have opted not to see, own, or have any of your information that you put into this system. So you can know that anything you put in here, it's 100% yours. So I'll go to mine and I'm going to scroll down here. We'll go right here. So you guys can see all of these people that I'm texting. A lot of different people coming through here. And I just replied to them right on here. All I have to do is click, let's say for Aubrey, I just click respond, type my text message, hit send. It comes through her phone as an SMS. No big deal. She doesn't realize that she's getting smart numbered. So this is huge because when you send out those 200 texts or however many you send out in January, you send them all, guys, within 10 seconds. Everyone in your database just got hit with a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and give me some business text. When they start replying, it's fast to text back on your computer, isn't it? Every time it comes in, you're going to see it right here on the dashboard, and you just click respond, respond, respond. You can track your conversations in here. So if I go to, let me see, I'll go to this as an old one. So I can see all of our text messages. Easy enough, right, guys? I could add notes, send an email from here, send a new text, but it gives me a nice thread that I can look at. On the mobile app, instead of seeing, you know, one text after the other, you see it just like your iPhone or your Android where it's in a nice thread. What we're going to type out is in January, it's going to kind of be that the holidays are over, a very, I think a good way to say it, very kind way to ask for some business or remind them that you're in real estate. In March, they should get another text message from us, just kind of thinking about them, and it'll say something along the lines of, hey, real estate's really starting to pick up as we head into the spring season, and I just want to make sure that I'm not forgetting about any family, friends, or clients. Is there anything you're going to be needing this spring? That's it. No one's going to be offended by that. And then my fall text, and you guys are welcome to use it. I'll share it with all of you guys. The fall text will be towards the end of August. And it's going to be saying, again, just touching base with family, friends, and clients to make sure that they or someone they know is not going to list this winter, because we like to get pictures taken in the summer for winter listings so that we can stand out. Do you know of anyone that could benefit from summer pictures for a home they may be selling this winter? I think people would respond to that, especially if they're thinking about listing. And then the winter text, it'll be early December, and that will be wishing everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you're going to say there. Just saying you're trying to do it as you take some, maybe a little bit of time off from your real estate business around Christmas time. Everything's going to have the word real estate in it, but it's going to be really, really simple to them. If you have a couple hundred people in your database and you send that text out 4 times a year, you will get business. You absolutely will. We had a national speaker, Greg, I can't pronounce his last name, come here a few times. And I remember somebody going to take a stab at it. I remember specifically he said something and it stuck with me. He said, we don't do these things like touching our database. We're not necessarily making these outgoing calls so that we can get a yes or a listing or a buyer. So we're making all of these outgoing calls so that when these people decide to transact, we will be the agent that receives their incoming call. Does that make sense, guys? So it's not about getting the business from this text. It's about constantly staying top of mind with these guys so that maybe in between these texts, when they're thinking about buying or selling, it's easy for them to reach out to us. But if we don't do this, I promise you will have a lot of people that you say you'll bump into a month or 2 months from now. You go, how's your holidays? Oh, it was great. What have you been up to? Oh, we just listed our house. I'm like, that's really, that's great. I love it. It's happened to me and it's happened to a lot of other people. And every time it happens, you can go, I just didn't stay in touch. It always comes down to that. So that's going to be our goal with KVCore is we want to take this system and we want to put it to work for us, but we want everything to happen in a moment. It's pretty cool to be able to touch 100 or 200, 300 people in a text message in 10 seconds. Any questions or any more pushback on the texting? I think the pushback is good, guys, because it gives us a chance to talk things out about those smart numbers and other issues with the strategy.
What about if you have both a husband and a wife in the sphere? Is it, do we want to send out that same text to both of them, or does it sound insincere?
I would say if they are going to sit back and compare text messages later that evening, it could sound a little insincere. But I don't know that they're going to make that connection that they got mass text. I just don't. Even if it says the exact same thing, it's okay if they make that connection because we're running a business, right? It's okay. They may think, man, this guy's good. Or gal. So I think that's okay to go ahead and hit them both because in my life, I don't make the moving decisions. I have nothing to do with that. I would still be in my first house if it were on me. I promise. But in other houses, it may be the husband who makes the decision, and we don't always know. So I think it's okay to hit them both. What are your thoughts
So
on
do
that?
do they see what we named them as the hashtag?
No, they will not.
Okay, good.
No, we don't want people thinking they're in our top 100 if they're not trying to have dinner with us or something. No, they don't see that. And that's why in that original text, I didn't put a name in there, but I did put you. Like, just wanted to touch base with you. So that makes it seem as if they're the only ones receiving that text. Does that make sense? Thanks, Joey. I thought it was funny too. Where did you find the template for the leads? Shelly, can we just go ahead and send that template out after this class, the highlighted one, so that everyone's kind of got exactly what they need? Might make it a little bit easier for them to fill out. Let me read through some of these questions really quick. Once you make the sale, Chris, that's a great question. So once you make the sale, do you turn your new lead into a Sphere contact? In old days, I would say, you know what? If I like him and I want to do business with him again, absolutely. If, ooh, that's a tough pill to swallow, then probably not. But now with this kind of automation, why not? It doesn't take any more time to add them to the mass text and the mass emails that we're going to send. We're going to do some emails with this thing. So yeah, I would say the more people you have in it, the better. So the research shows that for every 12 people, and I want you guys to think through this for a minute, every 12 people you have in your database that you touch on a regular basis, you should get 2 deals a year from. That means they might send you, doesn't mean they're going to move twice. They may send you a referral. They may move. But for every 12, you should get 2 deals. And so when I asked that question at the beginning of this session, how many of you have in your system? And let's be honest, most of us have 0, right? Or we don't have a system where they're being customers, so that makes it 0. But you shouldn't expect any deals. If you have 50 people in there, so if we're getting 12 deals, or I'm sorry, 2 deals from every 12 people, we have 50 people in there. That's 8 deals, 8 referrals we might be able to generate. And I want you guys to think about generating 8 referrals. Is that going to sustain a business? Would 8 deals a year do it for you guys? No. So we have to really look at some numbers and say, gosh, how many deals do I need for me to make a living out of this thing? And so if that's 50 deals, it's pretty simple to run that math to say, well, for every 12 people in my database, I should get 2 deals. If I'm operating this thing correctly, we can kind of run those numbers backwards and say, oh my gosh, I need 300 people in my database. But once we get them in, if you guys stay with me through these next few weeks, we are going to get business from them. Guarantee it. Lucy just asks, is KVCore good for cold texting? I think I know what you mean by cold texting, Lucy. Are you saying just texting strangers?
Yeah, like FSBOs or expired listings, doing like a text blast.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's good for the FSBOs and expireds. You could blast them all. Again, you have to download the CSV file, but that's a really cool thing that you just brought up. So if you subscribe to a service like RedX, so RedX will give you a bunch of phone numbers for FSBOs and expireds. And I think you can download the CSV file. Yes, Chris, this will be available for playback later. If you download the CSV file from a RedX, and let's say you get 100 FSBOs, you could put hashtag FSBO, or maybe hashtag FSBO15, so you know you downloaded that group in January, and text 100 FSBOs right away. Same text message. They don't know they're getting blasted. Does that make sense? That would
Yeah.
save a ton of time, wouldn't it?
My main concern with that is getting my number blocked by carriers. So would you recommend getting a second number for the people that you don't actually know?
Yeah, it's going to be really tough to get you. You have to get blocked by a lot of people to get blasted from a carrier. So it's highly unlikely. I would probably say no on the second number. I know a lot of people who text like crazy, and that's their main way of advertising. And I haven't met anyone who's gotten blocked yet by a carrier. I just haven't seen it yet. Doesn't mean it can't happen. It's just extremely rare because most people, when they get a solicitation text, what do most people do?
Delete it.
Delete it, ignore it. Not too many people are getting on the horn with T-Mobile for 30 minutes to try and put an end to that. They're just like, I'm done with that. So no, I think the cold texting would work. I actually think it's a great idea. I want to scroll up and make sure I'm not missing. We all do love being on camera, right? Very social group.
Jim, I have a question following up with that.
Hi, Kelly. Go ahead.
Hi. Can the people that receive the text message opt out? How would that work?
They can opt out. And that wouldn't bother me too much because if they opt out, what are the odds that we were going to do business with somebody that opted out of talking to us when we let them know who we were?
Right. Does it automatically stop?
It will. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. If they opt out, they're opted out. And that's why on Kelly, that spreadsheet, we had to put yes to opt them in to text, email, and
Right.
SMS. Or I'm sorry, phone call.
So do we have to go back in and change it to no, or by them opting out, it automatically does that?
It will automatically change for them.
Okay, perfect. Cool. Thanks.
Oh yeah, that would be a disaster if we had to do that.
Yeah.
And you know what? If the main way we're using this, if you think about it, we're texting people we know, right? We're texting people that if we were walking down the street and they saw us, we would recognize one another. So the odds of them getting offended and saying, stop this, knock it off, Jim, I would be kind of blown away. I'd be like, Tommy, you're my cousin. I've known you for 20 years. Like, I can't send you a text. It's going to be very rare that somebody says, leave me alone if we're texting a bunch of people we know. And we're doing it once a quarter. So kind of put yourself in their shoes. That text we send in January, if we're sending one a quarter, they can get the exact same text next January, and they are going to be a brilliant person if they immediately go, this is the same text I got last year this day. They're not going to remember. But they are going to remember when they go to get involved in real estate that we can help them. And that's the whole goal. Let me link. Yep, 0. That's most of us. We don't have a lot of people in a system. And if we don't get them there, then it's going to be very difficult to stay in the business. Okay. What other questions about, guys, just this basic idea of getting our people in and shooting them this quarterly text message. And we will send that out through Bree or Shelly once a quarter so that you guys can quickly just send that. Okay. What other questions do you guys have? Anything so far on what we just talked about? I told you guys it was not going to be earth-shattering today. It was going to be extremely basic. I will show you guys one thing because I don't want you to think that we're not going to learn anything as we go through this. If we go into listing machine and core social, and we'll talk about this in just a few weeks. You guys can see how I have some accounts connected here. There are posts automatically happening for me. You can see I've got 2 Facebook posts scheduled for today, a Twitter post. I don't even know how to log into Twitter anymore. I couldn't guess my password if my life depended on it. But I'm tweeting today, I guarantee it. We've got a LinkedIn post today. And this is just all happening without me doing anything. So we're going to help you guys set this up so that it happens for you. Sandy, do you mind if I pull up your name to see if you have any listings?
No, I only have one that's pending, but you're welcome to do it.
Okay, so I have access to look at kind of what we're all doing, and believe me, I'm so busy, I'm not sitting around doing that. So right here, this is what Sandy's would look like. So she could set up, and we may need to for her business page, some automated posts. But the main thing I want to show you guys is what happens with KVCore without you doing a single thing. And this is really cool. So you don't have to be a database person to take advantage of this system. Down here, we can see her listing in Noblesville on Rushing River. If we go to Actions, you're going to have a virtual tour. So the system will create this virtual tour for you. And it happens fairly quickly after you put it into My Board. I haven't tested that out. If anybody has, you're welcome to chime in. But I know it happens pretty quick. You put the listing in My Board, and you can click on the virtual tour. And a lot of people are paying $50 a month for these tours, but it creates a nice landing page. This is what we should be sharing with our sellers. What do our sellers like to do with the websites we share with them that have their listing on it? What's one of the first things they do with it?
Share it.
That's right. Who said that? Is that Chris?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're going to share it on social media. So the beautiful thing about that is they're going to land right here. They're going to see Sandy's information. So if Sandy shares this with her seller and her seller shares it, odds are they have overlapping spheres. And Sandy may not have connected with some of those people that they both know for quite some time. And they're going to see Sandy's name and information right here. And it will be a reminder like, oh yeah, I forgot Sandy's in real estate. So that's going to help as well with those overlapping spheres. Now, if they fill out the information, because some of them won't hit the X, some of them will fill it out to check it out, Sandy will get their contact information. They'll go right into her KVCore. And that's a really cool thing to be able to generate leads with this from your seller sphere because you already have that common connection. Makes it really easy to connect. So I'm going to hit the X because I do want to show you a little bit about the virtual tour. Pretty simple. I mean, it'll have the pictures really big, which is great because that's typically what the clients want to see. It'll have property details, some basic information. It'll have Sandy's information here. People can schedule a showing. If they visit her website, she can generate their contact information from there as a lead. It'll have any other listings. They'll be able to print information, mortgage calculator, brochure. It even has school information, which is really awesome. And I don't know why it has a weather widget, guys, but it does. So it kind of is what it is. And then it'll have a map, which is great too. And they'll be able to get driving directions text to them if they would like for that to happen. So I love this for a couple reasons. You can generate leads with it. And it's also going to make you look very professional to your seller when you say, hey, I've created a website for your listing if you want to share it with friends, family, and on social media. They're going to look at this and go, oh my gosh, Sandy's really good at her job versus sending them nothing. So any questions about that, guys? And we'll get into this a lot more as we go into that lead generation and core social. But I just wanted to show you that even if you're not a database person and you don't think you're going to do everything that this system has to offer, let's just at least take advantage of the free resources, right? At the very least, we get some free stuff. You can also property boost from here. And I don't know if it'll let me property boost your listing, Sandy. It doesn't look like it will. Okay. It says as low as 60, but it'll actually let you boost it for 40. It's really inexpensive to boost a property on here. And 90% of the dollars you spend go towards the actual advertisement, and 10% go to Inside Real Estate, who runs the advertisement. The good thing about that is their 90% of advertising dollars are better than your 100 because they have a wider reach, they have better AI taking care of it. So even though there's a small fee where all of your marketing dollars don't get used, their 90% is more often than not going to beat out your 100%, and it's going to save you a ton of time. If you generate leads from this, it goes right into your CRM. These are most likely strangers, and our system will just automatically start talking to them. And if they respond, that's where you want to jump in. All right, I want to keep these to 1 hour sessions as we go through this. So we'll kind of wrap up with any questions that you guys might have. And if we don't have any, then please come to the website setup and search alerts next Thursday. And if you're interested, come to that foundation on the 18th. I think that one's going to be awesome because I'm going to just venture to say most of us on here don't have a foundation. Lucy, you did the initial foundation course I did, right? Were you able to work through that and kind of have a foundation and feel like you have something to operate off of?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it's very hands-on to where it was not passive. Like I pretty much gave you work to do. Like everyone did work and walked out, I hope at the end of it saying, okay, I've actually got something here instead of just information that I'm not going to use. So that's going to be the goal of that course. So please hang with me for training this year, guys. I've worked really hard on it and I think it's going to be amazing. Any questions to kind of wrap up today? It can be related to this. It can be just general questions. Anything you guys got?
Jim, this is Elisa. Hey, I just had a question about you said whenever they fill in their information, they automatically get input to our system. How do they get categorized? And is it easy for us to be able to find those new leads that were fed into the system to be able to categorize them if it doesn't do it automatically?
Yeah, so they get categorized based on the source. And then you can go in and categorize them as well. So I'm going to show you an example of that, and I think it'll help make a little bit more sense. So let me got to go to my Smart CRM. I'm going to go off this hashtag Tucker, and I'm just going to look up Terry, my wife. Now she's in here multiple times because she's always the example. But you can see how I did put her in here as a sphere, but you can see this import number here. So if I did not put her in here as a sphere and she just randomly signed up, there would be something right here letting you know where she came from. So the source just happens to be an import. But I can see exactly where she came from. And the good thing is on the dashboard here, we're always going to try and operate from this dashboard. You should really log in once a day and just click on new leads. Right here, this tab, and see if you've generated any new leads, especially if you've done something to generate leads. Hopefully you're going to want to get in here and see if it worked. But you'll get in here and click on new leads, and this will be the whole company. So some of them will be private, some of them will be people who randomly visited the website. So you guys see here how this one says source organic website. Zoom in. So you're going to be able to see exactly where they came from. So you'll be able to tell if certain lead gen activities are working or if they're not producing anything. Does that help answer the question?
Yes, thank you.
Yep. Huh. I actually know this person. It's an organic one. You can see organic website, but I do know him. Yeah, that's it. You can see where everyone came from. Makes it very easy. Now, this person's going to get put on some sort of a drip. But if I click on that, I can go through and I can say, you know what, he's on a campaign, but I want to turn that thing off. So I could hit edit right here on campaign and I could turn that campaign off. So if you get someone you know, and this lead I don't think went to me, but if you get someone you know, you can go right in here to their campaign, hit edit, and say, no, I want to remove that, or I want to pause that, because I don't want him receiving a bunch of junk, because he's not going to appreciate that. We know each other. Another thing I really like, guys, is on this dashboard, if you click properties, you can see what properties your leads are viewing. These are all probably, I would assume, mostly random leads. But you can see that this person viewed this 19 hours ago. Right up here in the top left under their name or whatever their screen name is, I can see, okay, they viewed it on their phone once, desktop 0 times. This person looked at this property on their phone twice. This person, phone twice. So that's a good thing to be able to see how active people are on here, because I could quickly email, call, or text this person and just say, hey, what are your thoughts on that house on Farley? Would you have any interest in setting up a showing? And we'll get into a lot more of that as we go. I hope that answered the question. Let me go in and see if we have any more questions.
Hey, Jim, I actually have a question. It's Kaylee.
Hey, Kaylee.
So I've been doing the agent success plan on KVCore just to get to know it. And so yesterday I tried a squeeze page with the getting in a CMA, and shared it on my Facebook. And so I noticed today that I had 3 leads from it, but it was just the address. So I have no idea, like, I don't know. I don't have a name. I don't have any contact information besides the address. And I went through and I tried it myself just to see, like, you know, from the other side, what would happen. And so, like, when I pull it up and everything, I have to put in my email and my phone number. So I don't know if this is anything that you can help me with or not, but I just didn't know.
I can help you with this. So I'm going to walk you through how that happened. So somebody saw it on your Facebook. They clicked on it. They typed their address first. And then I'm guessing after they type that, they're like, type in your information so we can send you the results.
Right.
And that's when they thought, I was hoping I didn't have to tell anyone who I was. And so that's okay, because you can find out who they are. So in my BOR, you can go into the tax records. So write down my BOR in Realist. Realist is a tab at the top, and if I need to, I can walk you through that later today. But you're going to go into the tax records, and you're going to look the address up. I used to do this all the time because I used to pay for a service that was like $60 a month, and a lot of my people on Facebook they would try and back out and it'd say, you have a partial lead, here's the address. And half the time I could joke around with a lot of my friends. I would go, hey, I just saw you try to back out without putting your information. I just want to let you know I got you. It's kind of a joke, but it depends on who the person was. Other people, I would just kind of slow roll it depending on who they are. I may put them in my CRM and say, follow up with them in like a week. And say, hey, just touching base with some family, friends, and clients. If you need anything real estate related in 2021, feel free to let me know.
Okay. So these are definitely like completely random, like strangers.
That's good.
So can I still, is it totally okay for me to still reach out that way?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. That's a good thing. So it works.
Yeah.
That's a good example of why you'll likely be successful. Just the story you told about how you took that initiative, got in there yourself, and you actually generated some leads with 0 real estate experience, right?
Right. Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. Great question. What else, guys?
I messed up, Jim.
It happens.
This is Keisha. I think I did duplicates on my KVCore. So like when I'm sending out an email and so I'm like, oh no. So I'm trying to backtrack because no, I didn't send it to the other person. I sent it to the other person. So yeah, I'm going back and forth and I'm like, how do I get the duplicates off of here? So I don't know.
That one is one I just wrote down. I will figure that out when we get off of this.
Okay.
Because there is a way to merge the duplicates pretty easily within the system, but I don't want to fumble through it in front of everybody on here. But I did write that down, and I'll look as soon as we get off here.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody else have that issue that they need to know about? No? Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to take a last call for questions. And then if there's anything, also suggestions you have for company in 2021, anything at all, this is not my company, guys, this is our company. So if there's anything that we want to add, anything we want to stop doing, change, feel free to fire those away as well, guys. We want to make sure we're keeping a very open forum because we want to make this company perfect for us. You're welcome, Lucy, Lori, Scott. All right. Zoom's an odd thing. It always presents itself well for an awkward silence because I try and give everybody a minute to ask a question, and sometimes it just, we come back with nothing. That's all right. Open a front porch in Florida. I'm working on that, Elisa. I'm working on that. I got to go to Kokomo first. You're welcome, Dawn.
Lisa, I've been asking that for a couple years now.
Yes, because I'm trying to get a house down there, so I need to be able to work from Florida.
We are in some talks about that. The main thing is, and if you guys have known me for a while by now, a lot of you guys, I have a tendency to start a lot of things and take years to finish. I always finish them, but this year I want to be very, very intentional about making sure that everything we have right here at home is perfect. So we're going to be really focused on what we have this year. We'll still do some new stuff, but I really want to focus on what we've got because we're not perfect. We've got some things to clean up. We're doing a leads initiative this year also, guys, in case you're wondering, because I am always working on something for you. This has been on my mind for a long time, but I want to crack that code of how do we get a funnel of business, and I'm not talking about like reload business where they take 80% of our money. How do we get companies and different organizations to use us as the preferred real estate company here in Central Indiana? So we're going to do a handful of things this year to see if we can kind of crack that code. And I've got some pretty good ideas that I think will help us out. That puts, you're welcome, Linda. That puts a lot of pressure, Lisa. She's going to get a real estate license in Florida. All right, guys. Well, it's 12:07. Unless you've got anything else for me, I'm going to go ahead and sign off and get busy on some stuff. And if you guys need anything, you know you can reach out. But please, please try to attend trainings this year. We are going to knock them out of the park. It's going to be different than any other year we've had. It's going to help everyone get business. We will be one of the only companies in Central Indiana that has everyone in the company producing. We will figure it out. All right. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. See ya. Keisha,
Thanks. Bye-bye.
duplicate.